think of when you fuck a guy for over an hour and he just go.
Did anybody recognize you from film in the industry? They did? Okay. Well, I just don't know. You gotta do what you gotta do.
You are such an advocate. One thing is what I love is I love seeing a lot of the beautiful women that's in the industry as sex advocates.
And I would set up crystals on their body based off of their chakra. And the crystals, what they do is if they sit long enough, they begin to like permeate through the body. They begin to expand through the body and they create a grid.
I shot with John Q too. You know, John Q, you know, I'm the first big girl, but he did inside, you know, inside. Yeah. But
I would, and I have given my last time. I've given when I should have just watched. And it's not always about giving financially. It's giving your space and your time and your energy.
So that's kind of like a 50-50 answer, what I got. That wasn't really a yes or no answer.
I think I actually would, and this is of course the therapist in me, I would be asking them, like, tell me how this is celibacy for you.
So what's first there, Anna?
I shoot them just like I would be shooting a regular human. So you don't put the emphasis on that. So it makes it more consistent with the title of being transgender.
I have a good friend. She lives here in Atlanta. I met her on a porn set. She wrote a book called From Porn to the Pulpit. Now, I won't say she was like this super... Yeah, she's my best friend. She's my best friend. Her name is Danielle Williams McCord. She wrote an amazing book called From Porn to the Pulpit. She's been preaching for 10 years now, but I met her on a porn set.
In any business that you find yourself in. Because definitely for me, like, you know, creating a product to push to the consumer, and for me, everything was consumer driven. If they didn't want it, I'm not gonna make it because I knew it
felt like if we kept our head a little below the sagebrush, that we would just be able to keep on going without any interference or anything like that. But that's
like, dude, I'm sitting in like the dressing room, like just with all the 20-year-olds and 22-year-olds, 25-year-olds. I'm like, how old are you? Oh, I'm 25. I'm like, how old are you? I'm 23. And I'm like, dude, I'm 30.
Before I leave the house, I feel like last look. You know, this is how I feel, this is what I'm thinking, you know. Now, when I get out and interact with other people, it's going to be what it is.
Right, okay.
Welcome to a podcast like no other. Get ready for insightful conversations, diverse perspectives, and a touch of inspiration. This is Ask Nyomi, Bridging the Gap podcast. Join your host, the dynamic Nyomi Banks, as she delves into the heart of various topics with a refreshing blend of curiosity and wisdom. Each week, tune in as Nyomi is joined by special guests who bring their unique stories and expertise to the table. It's a journey of discovery, learning, and growth. And let's not forget about the one and only dog pound Mike, adding his flavor and flair to the mix. Together, they make a dynamic duo you won't want to miss. From thought-provoking discussions to moments of laughter and joy, Ask Nyomi. Bridging the Gap podcast offers a space where great topics meet amazing guests. So, mark your calendars, set your reminders, and prepare to be entertained and enlightened. Join Nyomi Banks and Dog Pound Mike weekly for an unforgettable podcast experience. Get ready to bridge the gap, expand your horizons, and immerse yourself in the world of Ask Nyomi. Subscribe now and stay tuned for a podcast journey like no other.
Hey, my beautiful people. I truly apologize. I was definitely on Color People Time this month today. But, you know, honestly, first of all, thank you and welcome to Ask Nyomi BTG podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks. And yes, I do apologize. I know we are a little late right now, but as you know, I've been doing a lot of upgrades. As I say, leveling up here at Ask Nyomi. And so I got caught up in a little work, got kind of behind, looked at the time and said, oh my God. So I had to go do something to myself, get kind of cleaned up. And now I am here. Today is going to be a truly amazing show. So let me start back off again. All right. What's good, my beautiful people? It is your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks here at Ask Nyomi BTG podcast. This is where we talk about love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more while bridging the gap between the all and teaching the world on sex language, attitude, and spiritual uplifting. But today we're talking about something that can literally save your love life. You want to know what that is? Red flags. Red flags. So let me hit you with this hot take. Is being too nice actually a red flag? That's right. Today we are diving deep into signs that you might be missing. So let me do this. Let me share a little personal story with you. Quite a few years back, I met this guy who seemed to be perfect on paper, right? Successful, charming, always buying gifts. Yes, texting constantly. I was feeling like I was the luckiest woman alive, right? Well, until I realized that, hold on, this man has never once disagreed with me on anything. Now, let me tell you something. I do think I know everything, but come on now. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Not one time. But then 3 months in, I still didn't know his authentic self because he was so busy showing me his representative. We talked about that before. Remember, guys, that representative? He was too nice. He had that too nice behavior, that classic love bombing with the side of people pleasing. You know, all that, that's just mass deeper issues. And one day it exploded. I saw the real personality. It finally showed up. So today's episode is going to be a fun, full-packed episode. We're going to do a very first interactive red flag or real deal segment where you, our listeners, live listeners here, will be able to vote, as well as Nyomi Tops is back, where I will give my top sneaky red flags of 2025, as well as the special holiday edition, looking at celebrity relationship that shoulda swiped left. And we'll tackle a juicy listeners letter that had my group chat blowing up. Plus, I'm going to give y'all a challenge. Yes. And this just might transform your dating life. So what I want to do right now is grab your drinks, get comfortable, and we're going to get into it. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick break. All right. It's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks here on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. We'll be right back.
Washington Wellness Institute focuses on healing always. For me, if I look good, then I feel good. If I feel good, then I share the good. If I share the good, then I celebrate the good. If I celebrate the good, then I live the good. So I can be paid to be my greatest. But I have to learn the good to be the good.
So, what does it take to be the greatest? It's as simple as a free 15-minute consultation. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
What are some common barriers that prevent people from expressing? Hey, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks here from the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Yeah, I would say remorse. So shame and guilt is a very dividing emotional.
And these are one of the many amazing conversations that we have every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Season of Self-Love podcast with myself, Nyomi Banks, as well as our resident therapist, Dr. Will Washington of Washington Wellness Institute. Come by.
The reality of our relationships with people.
Come by.
And a lot of times we're afraid of how people look at us. And so that compassion can't enter.
You can hit us on our
So that's a
website,
really
the
big
Season
barrier.
of Self-Love
Really big barrier.
podcast.com.
Let me ask you this. With the truth, is it...
All right, my beautiful people. Well, welcome back. It's time for our red flag, red deal, the segment where I present series and you will vote. So if you're watching live, I want you to drop a red flag. Or if a green one, like a green heart in the comments. So if you're listening later, play along with it. I want you to check it out in sociables. All right, so we got our first scenery. All right, our first scenery is they want to move in after 2 weeks of dating. They want to move in after 2 weeks of dating. What are we thinking? Is it a red flag or real deal? Vote now. Red flag, give me the red flag up there in the comments. Give me the green if it's a deal. Give me a green if it's a deal. Give me a green if it's a deal. All right, Dog Pound, do me a favor. Go to the comments, please. Okay, we got a red flag. We got a red flag. We're going to hold off for a moment again. Again, I want y'all to listen to it. We're still on that first scenery. On the first scenery. After 2 weeks of dating. After 2 weeks of dating. They moving in. Is that a red flag or is that a real deal? Is that a real deal? Oh, I see some good ones. I see real deal. I see red flag. Ooh, I see flag.
A bunch of flags.
A bunch of flag, just flying. Yeah, I see a lot of red flags out there. We got a green heart. Right, we got a green heart out there. You know what? So let me say this, and I'm gonna tell you why you are absolutely right, but then I'm gonna share something with you all right? So with the red flags, this is rushing into intimacy one-on-one. This is something that we should not be doing. See, when someone pushes for a major commitment steps this early, they're often trying to create dependency before you can see their true colors. Sometimes it's manipulation, sometimes it's insecurity, but either way, you gotta slow it down. You know what I'm saying? Slow it down. Real connection needs time to develop. So let me share this with you all. So in my first marriage, yes, with my first marriage, my first husband, we dated for 2 weeks and we were moved in together after 2 weeks. Seriously. And I can actually say that in the beginning, we thought we was trying to, get to know each other. Then fast forward, we became very toxic for each other because probably at that moment in that time, we were actually just showing our representative to one another. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, y'all got to take y'all time. And I learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson. All right. So let's do this. Let's take the next scenery. They're best friends with all of their exes. Is that a red flag or is that a real deal? Vote now. Vote now. Your man or your woman is best friends with all of their exes. Better yet, that are friends with their exes. Is that a red flag or is that the real deal?
People thinking about a lot of red coming up.
Oh, I see a lot of red flags up there. I see a lot of red flags up there.
Let me ask you something on this one in there.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So say they friends with their ex or most of them. But say if their new spouse, woman, the man knows the friends, and they get along, is it still good for them to be friends, or would their other spouse always thinking something sneaking around in there?
You know what? That depends. That honestly depends on that individual. So let me say this is because even when I went through all of this and I was thinking, okay, how is this going to go? Because I'm different. I'm just going to say this. I'm different because I have been very great friends with a few of my exes. I have. But also my man know them. You understand what I'm saying? So there was no hidden agenda, at least on my end, there wasn't. But then I do know that some people can't do it. that they can't do it. So when this one, it's a mixture. It depends on who you are with.
Right.
It depending on how y'all relationship is. It's depending on how y'all started. From there, a lot of people were like, no way, I'm not doing that. I can't do that. But then if I know, like for me, I understand in my relationships of what it is. I understand what I've learned from those past relationships, period, and who I am with now. That's it. So we are only friends, but so let me break this one down. The one thing is being civil or being friendly with some of your exes could actually be a green light. And it shows emotional maturity and a healthy closure. But being best friends with all the exes, I don't know. That's a little bit complicated. So when I say about me being good friends, we're good friends. That's it. We're good friends. Period. Nothing else. But I don't know about this best friend.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I mean, I am still a good friend to my ex-wife. But my wife now, who met her, she understands that. But we're not best friends. We don't talk on a daily. We talk maybe once or twice a year. So we are still good friends, cordial, but best friends. That's something different.
Right. And also, you got to ask yourself, what are these friendships actually like? Can we be honest? What are these friendships actually like? Are boundaries respected? Is your friend respecting your boundaries that now that you have a new man or a new woman? Let's be honest, with that. Is there transparency? Does your partner prioritize your relationship comfort? See, the red flags isn't just friendship itself. It's when these relationships create secret comparison and emotional fears. Does that make sense to y'all? So I want y'all to come back and say, well, Naomi said that I can be friends with my ex, and y'all around here sneaking.
Now we gonna get somebody beat down around.
No, just y'all need to start don't be around there sneaking and just gonna blame it on Naomi. As I was watching this, I was hearing this podcast, and Naomi said it was all good. No. If you are being true and transparency, and your boundaries in those relationships, and it's on the up and real, then yes, it could be the real deal. Now, if y'all around there still liking and kissing and flirting and doing all that other stuff, no.
Well, I'm a dog pound. I work with Naomi, so I'll be like what Naomi said.
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. I've been known to be blamed for quite a few things that I had nothing to do with, but that's a whole nother story. All right, and so this is our final scenery. Final one. They don't have any close friends. Is that a red flag or is that a real deal? So this is kind of like the total opposite of the last one. They don't have any close friends. Is it a red flag or a real deal? All right, so I'm going to explain it again for anybody who's just joining us now on the live. This last scenery, if you are in a relationship with someone that you realize that they do not have any close friends, is that a red flag for you or is that a real deal? And if you agree, if it's a red flag, put a red flag up there. Give me an emoji of a red flag. If it is a real deal, give me a green heart. Give me an emoji of a green heart. I want to see it in the comments. And I forgot to say, hey, BTG crew.
She got us working already.
Right, y'all saw me. I came up in here late running in here late. So I want to see those comments going. Yes. I want to see those comments going. Those comments going. Yes. Y'all see that lady right there by herself. By herself. What you think about that?
That's something different because I mean, some people just don't have a lot of friends. Some people could have been loners and just always by themselves. And the thing is, what if your best friend and is your spouse? Well, if that you always talk to. So I guess you have to know more about their their life and their upcoming
Yeah.
if they was a loner, they're, to themselves all the time.
Yeah. But right here, when I'm sitting here looking at the comments, and I don't see a lot of red flags. I think everybody's just stuck. Like they trying to, like, I don't know if it's a plus or a minus.
That's one to think about.
If it's a red flag or it's a blue flag. You know?
I see Charmaine up said they could be loners, but on the other hand, they could be crazy as hell.
All right, but let me tell you this. But having no close friendships often indicates difficulty maintaining relationships. It might mean poor conflict resolution skills, inability to be vulnerable, or just dependency solely on romantic partners or emotional needs. However, context matters. Are they new to the city? Did they recently leave a toxic friendship? Are they healing from social trauma? The one thing is just give them grace where it's deserved, but pay attention to how they talk about their former connections. So if everyone in their past was toxic or betrayed them, then that's when your red flag should be waving real hard.
Wow.
Yeah. So my beautiful people, keep those votes coming for our next segment. I want y'all to remember that one flag doesn't automatically disqualify someone, but multiple red flags might be a pattern that you cannot ignore. So guess what, y'all? We got to take a quick break because when we come back, Nyomi Tops is back. All right, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks here on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast, and we will be right back.
Washington Wellness Institute focuses on healing always. For me, if I look good, then I feel good. If I feel good, then I share the good. If I share the good, then I celebrate the good. If I celebrate the good, then I live the good. So I can be paid to be my greatest. But I have to learn the good to be the good.
So, what does it take to be the greatest? It's as simple as a free 15-minute consultation. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
What are some common barriers that prevent people from expressing? Hey, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks here from the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Yeah, I would say remorse. So shame and guilt is a very dividing emotional.
And these are one of the many amazing conversations that we have every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Season of Self-Love podcast with myself, Nyomi Banks, as well as our resident therapist, Dr. Will Washington of Washington Wellness Institute. Come by.
The reality of our relationships with people.
Come by.
And a lot of times we're afraid of how people look at us. And so that compassion can't enter.
You can hit us on our
So that's a
website,
really
the
big
Season of Self-Love podcast.com. Let me ask you this, with the truth, is it Hey, well, welcome back. It's Nyomi Tops. I am so happy for Nyomi Tops to be back. All right, so on this one, we're doing my top 5 sneaky red flags for 2025, and it's all about the modern digital warning signs of social media that are easy to miss but dangerous to ignore. All right, so my number 5 is love bombing through social media. This isn't just excessive compliments or gifts anymore. It's 2025, baby. Now, it looks like immediately wanting to feature your prominent on their socials, right? Tagging you in future plans they created without your input, or using your relationship for content before it's even established. So let me share this with you. Now, I had a client whose new partner created a highlight reel for their love story after 3 dates, including Photoshop pictures of vacations that would take. So I guess they took doing that vision board a little bit too far.
That was a real vision board there. Yeah.
You know, and I don't mean to laugh like that. Well, maybe that's what it was. But it's a little creepy. It's a little manipulative, and it completely disrespects the autonomy of that relationship. All right. So let's go to number 4. Number 4 is trauma dumping in the DMs. At the 3 a.m. paragraph essays about their difficult childhood or toxic exes before you even had a proper date. Vulnerability is beautiful when it's earned through mutual trust. But when someone steady dumps heavy emotional content early, they're often testing your boundaries and creating false intimacy. So what's the solution? Compassionate boundaries. You can acknowledge their pain without becoming their therapist. I appreciate you trusting me, but these are complex issues that might benefit from professional support. I'm happy to get to know you more as we build trust naturally. All right, that's how you say it in a positive way. So this is how you say it in Southside Chicago. Look,
There you go.
don't tell me your business right now. I don't know you like that.
You went straight hood.
I had to go straight Southside Chicago right there. I don't know you like that. Don't be telling me all your business like that in the thing. But I'm just saying, that's how a lot of relationships start like that, and you just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let me tell you this. I have a way that when I meet people, especially back in the day, people used to just dump on me. And I was just like, yeah, okay, give it to me. Like I am, I'm dear Abby. I'll do it or do it. I'll tell you what to do,
Right,
And it worked out fine. Let's say it worked out fine because now I am a life coach. But in the beginning, I'm like, damn, like, is anybody around me, just ain't toxic? But then I realized, and this is on the real, I realized that maybe it ain't maybe nothing I was. I was reflecting, mirroring my own toxic self with that. Wow. But now I am in my healing era. Hey, I'm in my healing era. And so it's not that bad anymore. But people will in the DMs. Yes. Yes, all day. All right, number 3. Now this one funny. Number 3 is breadcrumbing through multiple platforms. So y'all say, what's this, Nyomi? What is my... Let me tell you something. When, for instance, I got about 6 or 7 Instagram platforms. And I'm just to be honest, I got Ask Nyomi, I got The Real Nyomi Banks, I got The Season of Self-Love, I got Elevate Me, Self-Discovery, and I got a few more, right? Yeah. So I have certain individuals, I'm gonna say individuals, that DM me in each one of those every day. Like maybe I'm gonna miss them in one of the other ones. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But also, this is the next level ghosting for the multiple app generation. They disappear from texting, but watch all of your Instagram stories, then ignore your DMs, but like your LinkedIn updates, and then they keeping you accessible without investing real energy.
I get it. Break it down like that.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying now.
So then the modern player doesn't completely vanish. Just give just enough digital attention to keep you hanging on. So if someone continue to communicate consistently on one platform, having access to you on 6 others won't fix the problem. Yeah.
Wow. That's deep. That's deep.
Yeah.
I mean, you were telling me about that earlier, but now putting it that way, I kind of understand. I understand what you're saying now. Yeah.
Yeah. And so let me say this, because even in describing that, it's like for me, and I'm just going to be real honest. If I know you and you in my, I think how the DMs go, it's go like general, premier, general, and something, whatever. So if you are in my personal one that I get a what's the name that comes directly to me, and so I'm able to be like, okay, yeah, but if you not, it goes to the other kind of spam thing.
Okay.
So if you constantly DMing me, and I'm just being very honest, and it don't make no sense to me, or it's just like you're going in the other side, so you're now restricted and you're going in the other side. So I'm gonna say this. So I guess am I the ghosting person? No, I just don't want to see all of that.
Okay.
I don't know. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Please tell me, say, no, Naomi, you wrong. Look, if I'm wrong, let me know. I'm not always right. But on this one, I think I'm right.
You're right on this. Yeah, you're right on this. Yeah, yeah, totally right.
Yeah,
because it's just too much to try to hit you everywhere. It's almost like like they got access. Feel they should have access to you all the time.
Yes. And there's sometimes, All right, the next one is number 2 is digital jealousy. They're monitoring your likes, they're questioning who commented on your post, or joking about the social media activity. Their surveillance is possessiveness disguised as interest. So I work with this woman who's partnered with time, how long she spent on Pacific friends' profiles compared to his. Now, let me tell you something. I don't even know how you do that. I don't even know how you do that. I mean, that's not love. That's control, right?
Right.
I'm still sure. How do you know? Wait, hold on. How do you know if there of how long somebody has been on somebody else's post? Can you see that individually from somebody's thing? I don't know.
You got to be able to. You do.
Unless they just lying, like, oh, I saw you, and we don't know. She don't know. But see, in 2025, with everything we share online, digital jealousy can quickly become digital stalking.
Yeah.
And I got a few of those. But I'm not even going to talk about it right now.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Oh, let's talk about it right now. Let's talk about it right now. All right, so my number one sneaky red flag of 2025 is financial red flag in the age of digital payments. With everything from Venmo to crypto, money moves get complicated. Watch for your partners who forget their digital wallet, expect you to cover expenses with promises to transfer later, or pressure you into investments in shared accounts too early. Now, I've seen relationships where financial abuse started with something as simple as, let me set up that investment account for us. Yeah, let's merge our streaming subscriptions and save some money. Next thing you know, they have access to your payment details, and they are making decisions about your money. So financial independency is so crucial. It's very crucial, my beautiful people. So being generous is wonderful, but maintain your separate accounts until there's proven trustworthy over the time. So again, that is my top 5. Drop your comments with the sneaky red flags that you notice in the digital dating world. So we're gonna do. We're gonna take another quick break, and then when we come back, we're gonna do our Hollywood red flags. All right, stars who should have swiped left. It's your girl, the goddess Nyomi BTG here on Ask Nyomi BTG podcast, and we'll be right back. What are some common barriers that prevent people from expressing? Hey, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi BTG here from the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Yeah, I would say remorse. So shame and guilt is a very dividing emotional.
And these are one of the many amazing conversations that we have every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Season of Self-Love podcast with myself, Nyomi BTG, as well as our resident therapist, Dr. Will Washington of Washington Wellness Institute. Come by.
The reality of our relationships with people.
Come by.
And a lot of times we're afraid of how people look at us. And so that compassion can't enter.
You can hit us on our website, the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Let me ask you this, with the truth, is it
beautiful people? Well, welcome back to Ask Nyomi BTG podcast. Today is all about red flags. Actually, I wasn't able to even say this in the beginning of the show, but actually this type of show is going to go on once a month here at Ask Nyomi. We want to bring a little bit more fun in it, bring a little more brand awareness to everything. We're leveling it up more here in 2025. So this right here, we doing everything. We're doing everything when it comes to red flags, because we definitely want to try to help out your relationship out there, because I got mine. I got my relationship and it's on 100. And I want to get y'all there. Because the red flags that I seen, I was able to turn them green. I was able to make my red flags turn to green hearts. And how you do that, Naomi? Yeah, I'm just playing. All right, so I went way away from them. All right, so it's time for Hollywood red flags. So I thought something would be very fun to just add this in there. You know, the Hollywood that we should have swiped left. That we should have swiped left. And then, you know, Dog Pound Mike, you know, he'd be new to this over here. And so we're going to do it like this. Because we're not here to judge. Anyone's relationship with celebrities are human too. But these public situations can teach us some valuable lesson. All right, but Dog Pound want to start with 8. He want to start with number 8 with Mr. Kanye West. Keep going to the left. Keep going. So yesterday, yesterday I had posted on social media what I had everybody voting. So I had a list of 8 celebrity couples that I wanted to know who had the vote of the most toxic relationship, or better yet, or who they felt like should have swiped left on. So number 1 is Kanye and Kim, the OG drama. You see, this relationship showed us that when someone constantly disrespects your boundary publicly, it doesn't matter how much history that you share. But the one thing that we saw is that Kim stayed remarkable composed through the public outbursts, political differences, and social media thirds. So what was the lesson? Someone's artistic genius doesn't excuse toxic behavior. So when someone shows you who they are repeatedly, believe them the first time. But also I want to share this too. You know, it's one thing when we talk about mental illness and mental awareness. Actually in May, we're doing the whole complete month of May about that, about mental awareness. So how to have relationships, whether it's with a lover, whether with family members. We're dedicating the whole month of May to mental awareness month. So make sure that you guys lock us in for the full, all 4 episodes that's happening in May here on Ask Nyomi. It's all about mental awareness. All right. So the next one is my favorite couple, Will and Jada. The question is, are they still entangled? You know, this couple taught us about the dangers of public oversharing, and some things need to be worked through privately. Now, their red flag wasn't open relationships. Those can be healthy with proper communication, right? That's something that we learned a few weeks ago. But the red flag was the lack of aligning messaging and respect with discussing their arrangement. You know, because I was liking how they was rolling, but it was just too messy. That communication with that other person wasn't right. All right, so let's go to the next one. Joe Jonas and Sophia Turner. All right, this is the 4 a.m. divorce. I kind of go with this one because through my first divorce, I think it was about a midnight ask for the divorce that I would do. It wasn't as, you know, at 4 a.m., but I was in the AMs. Like that. But this situation highlighted on how quickly things can unravel when careers, cultural differences, and parenting approaches aren't aligned. The red flag wasn't their different backgrounds, but potentially rushing into marriage, parenthood without addressing fundamental lifestyle and compatibility. All right, so the next one that was on that list was Travis Scott and Kylie Jenner. We're going to call that the co-parent chronicles. And their relationship showed us that passion without shared life vision leads to on-again, off-again patterns. And the red flag wasn't their age or fame differences, but possibly building a family before building a solid foundation. And so here's another favorite couple of mine, and that is Cardi B and Offset. Now, this past December, they just did a split, right? This relationship demonstrates that repeated betrayal rarely changes without serious interventions. The red flag wasn't giving second chances. That can be generous, but normalizing disrespect as part of loving someone. So with that one, you know, they had been on the chopping block a few times of wanting to go through a divorce. Cardi was. And I guess it's finally time and time, to pull out. I guess it's very hard when you have a public relationship, especially as celebrities, that everybody has a right, where they feel like everybody have a right to say, even us sitting here right now talking about these people relationships. It's for entertainment, but still at the end of the day, they are human just like us. They are human just like us. And unfortunately, they live their lives in front of the camera, sometimes unwillingly. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes unwillingly. All right, the next one is Justin Bieber, and Haley, the Selena drama. So this was kind of old. I mean, it's kind of old. Well, their situation teaches us about the importance of healing before bringing someone into a new life. See, the potential red flag was building a marriage while still processing a significant previous relationship. But also the fans kind of did that too, because once the fans see somebody with somebody, they think that person's supposed to be with that person all the time, not giving another person, you know what I'm saying, that grace to go ahead and move forward. We see that in a lot of relationships right now. Even with Kanye and Kim, that was a part of it. That was a thing, with that one going forward. And then let's talk about Tom Brady in Arena Shack. I think that's how you pronounce her name. The rebound game. All right, so let me tell you something. I didn't know that Tom Brady and Giselle were gone. I didn't know that. I didn't know that they were broken up until I had saw the roast. Yeah, when I saw the roast earlier last year, and I was like, oh, they getting a divorce. Like they've been together for a long time. And then I'm so nosy, like, what happened? What'd he do?
You don't want to quit playing football.
Like, what'd he do? Right? Like, what'd he do? All right, so the rebound game. This brief connection reminds us that rebounding after major life transition rarely leads to lasting connection. So the red flag there, it wasn't their age gap, but potentially using new relationships to distract from divorce healing. And I can see that. And finally, double for your pleasure. Kanye and Bianca. Is it control or is it love? The relationship demonstrates concerning patterns around control appearances and limited public speaking. So the red flag is when one partner's individually seems diminished rather than enhanced by the relationship. One other person's individuality, just kind of taking over a whole of who she is. Right. I remember having this conversation with you before, or what you thought about it. And I'm like, man, I really wonder how she feels in this, or is it just us just judging them? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think with that too is his profile with Kim, and people just can't disconnect with them because you still hear something about Kim and Kanye.
Right.
So their connection is so strong that her, I never knew who she was and where she came from.
Until she got with him.
And then it's like he parades her around doing, walking around naked and stuff like that, like a total control thing.
Right. So let me ask you this, and I'm going to be honest. Is it all about us as, outside bystanders looking in and putting our own perception of what we think relationships should be?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Because you look at Will and Jada, even though, I gave the example of all the red flags that they had, but with them, they knew what their relationship was. It was just the people on the outside that wasn't respecting their relationships or what it is. So who really the red flag? Is it Will or Jada, or is it the people on the outside? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's the people on the outside, because the thing is, with social media, everybody can comment, everybody can say something, everybody can judge, and we're not inside their house. Inside the house, probably is a very great experienced relationship, but everybody outside, we're going to look into their house and judge, not knowing what's really going on, because we can click a like or a dislike, or just comment up there what we think.
Right. So let's do this. Let's also be fair with Kanye on this, Kanye and Bianca. Let's do this as well. She walk around half naked. Can I be very honest? Before I got into the adult industry, I was always walking around half naked. My mom used to call me skank all the time, and I would just love it, just walking around. Yeah. But once I got into the adult industry, I was putting on all kinds of clothes to make sure that I was covered up. And I don't know why. I was so comfortable in my own skin that I didn't have a problem with it. But no lie, once I got in front of the camera and started doing, you know what? I kind of withdraw and came back, to where I was covering myself, but I'm thinking like maybe she's just free of what she feel. We constantly judging others for what we think others should be doing,
Right. You know something, and I feel you on that, because even with that statement about you said about yourself, it's like once you came into the industry and came out, I mean, other people start. I mean, it's comments from other people and thoughts from other people started affecting you about,
No.
Okay.
No. And that's the thing. It was never that. It was just me subconsciously. I guess I felt you was already butt naked on the film, so why do it in your personal life? Which I was already, dressing, mini skirts. Like I rarely wore gym shoes. If I wasn't playing basketball or running, I wasn't wearing gym shoes. I had on heels every day. I was dressed every day. But once I got into the industry and I wasn't doing anything, I started to dress down, like to where I was covering myself up just to think that people were now judging me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And so for that much, it was like, whoa, hold on. I was no longer comfortable in my skin because of what I thought that somebody else was giving to me. And you're right, Figure Booty. It was a stigma that I allowed for somebody else to put on me, and they ain't said a word. It was just me, what I was thinking mentally, subconsciously in my mind. So then when you look at, and I'm just gonna be real, when you look at Kanye and Bianca, is that their situation that they're not allowing anybody on the outside determine how they gonna walk, they walk, gonna be, they be? Does that make sense to y'all?
Yeah, I see that in Kanye.
Yeah.
I see that in them. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. All right, so remember, we are analyzing patterns, and I am not judged. I'm the last one to be judged. But even celebrities have unlimited resources to face relationship challenges. And what celebrity relationship have you noticed? What relationship patterns have you noticed? Share your thoughts. Share your thoughts. Share your thoughts. All right, my beautiful people. So guess what? It is time for... It's Nyomi ladder time. God, I haven't done that in such a long time. This is where I tackle your relationships question. And today's letter had an entire team talking about it. We were talking about it for a minute, right? I missed these. This is where Ask Nyomi started out with the letters, all right? So it said, Dear Nyomi, I've been dating this guy for 3 months and everything seemed perfect until I started noticing some things. He's charming and successful, but he's always talking about his ex being crazy. Like last week, he got upset when I didn't text back for 2 hours because I was in a meeting. He sent me 15 messages asking me where I was. He also started suggesting I change my Instagram to private and I remove all of my male friends. So my friends say these are red flags, red flags, red flags. But he treats me like a queen otherwise. Am I overreacting? Red flag and confused. So what y'all think? I'm going to wait for what the comments going to say, and I'm going to tell y'all what I told her. What the comments saying? What the comments saying?
Ooh, boy.
What you say about this, Dr. Paul Mike?
That's a straight red flag. That's a straight red flag. He just came out so that insecurity, that and that's the thing. You can't judge your new woman or man by the crazy one you just left.
Yes.
I hit a couple crazy ones back in the day, and if I just went there and thought like, okay, they all crazy, then what's the use of meeting anybody?
Right.
What's the use of meeting anybody?
Right. So first, let me say this. First of all, I want to thank you for trusting me with this. And I want to be crystal clear. You are not overreacting. In fact, you probably underreacting. So let's break this down on what's happening. All right. First, consistently calling his ex crazy is a massive red flag. It shows zero accountability in previous relationships and often means that they're rewriting history to paint themselves as victims. So I want you to ask yourself, what crazy things did the ex supposedly do? Why is she so crazy? Were there legitimate concerns being dismissed? And how will he describe you later? So would you be the next crazy ex? Second, 15 messages in 2 hours because you wasn't available. You was working. You was in a meeting. You probably was getting your money. Or setting up the next bag. That's not concern. That is control and insecurity. And somebody said that in the comments. Healthy partners respect your autonomy and they understand that you have a life beyond responding to them immediately. And third, suggesting that you change your social media to private and remove male friends is textbook isolation. Early stages of potential abuse behavior, and he's testing on how much control you accept. And finally, treating you like a queen, otherwise it's likely love bombing. To compensate for the controlling behaviors. Real respect isn't grand gestures, it's honoring your independence, your friends, your career, and boundaries. So my advice, this is my advice, baby girl. Trust your instincts and your friends. I know sometimes friends get a bad rap because they be like, they ain't got no man, so they can't, let's be honest. But sometimes your friends be right on they know what red flags look like. A lot of times they ignored it. And so a lot of times they want to tell you that. So those aren't just red flags, baby. There is a big red banner with flashing lights that say, go. Yes, because you deserve someone who trusts you, who respects your autonomy, who doesn't need to control your life, and that feels secure in the relationship. So for anyone out there that is in a similar situation, I know we joking and having fun, but on the serious. For anyone out there that's in a similar relationship, love shouldn't shrink your world. It shouldn't. It should expand it. And if you're constantly managing someone's emotion or modifying your behavior to keep the peace, that's not a relationship. That's a hostage situation on a real. So my question to all of you in the comments, BTG, what would you all advise for red flag to do? Red flag confused. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Yeah, that's something.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's something.
Yes, it is.
That is.
I mean, for him to do all that, but like you said, though, if his ex was crazy and he's seeing all these things, what would you, he's probably the one that's crazy. He's probably the one that's so insecure and so worried about what his ex did that he's bringing all that drama onto his new relationship.
Man, this sounds like somebody I know. I'm telling you. I ain't seen a red flag. I moved into that. All right, so my beautiful people, before we wrap up, I'm giving y'all a challenge. I do this on my Season of Self-Love podcast. I do this all the time where I give them daily challenges, but this one should be fun. This one surely should be fun. So I'm giving you what I call the red flag reality check challenge. And this isn't about being cynical. It's about being intentional with your relationship standards. I've created a downloadable checklist available on my website that includes questions like, does this person respect my boundaries consistently? Can they disagree with me respectfully? Do I feel more energized or drained after spending time with them? Has the relationship progressed at a comfortable space for both of us? Or do they have healthy relationships with family and friends? And also, can they take accountability when they make mistakes? And do I feel safe expressing concerns without walking on eggshells? But I got a lot more questions to add on here.
That's homework.
But you know what, to be very honest, that's what we should have been doing in the beginning.
Yeah.
When we get into these relationships. A lot of times I talk about before you get into these relationships, you truly go into some self-healing counseling. No, seriously, because we so hurt. We get into these with other hurt people. So now we're building hurt families, hurt relationships. And then from there, then we creating hurt children that's out there hurting one another and hurting the world. That's why shit all fucked up now. You're right. Like serious, and I excuse my language, but that is why the world is here today, like it is now. I mean, I'm trying to, make light of it. So when we look at how, the world is right now, especially, the United States, how everything is happening, it's so toxic. And, and you think about those, people that's in control of the country, why is it like this? Who hurt them?
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Who hurt them to think that they could come out and they want to hurt everybody else, take everything away? You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to, because it's supposed to be a really fun show.
You get a little political.
I'm getting a little deep. I don't want to ever get political no more, but I just, I ain't want to get deep, all right?
Go get shut down, girl. Bring it back. Bring it back.
I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it back. All right, my beautiful people. So your challenge this week is to apply this to your current relationship or reflect on a past one. What patterns did you notice? And what standards might need adjusting? What red flags did you miss and you ignored? Let me tell y'all something. When I was putting this show together, I was just sitting there. It was just so memories. It was just all these little red flags that was flying. I was like, girl, you just missed that. You just missed all of that.
You did a whole lot of work on this one.
Man, that's why I was late.
Right.
That's why I was late. That is why I was late. All right, my beautiful people. But again, share your biggest realization anonymously through the form on my site that I just ran. And I'll address some next week. So remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about awareness. It's about awareness. Well, my beautiful people, that is our show today. But next week, we're going to do the flip side. Next week, we're diving into the green flag edition. Signs that you found a keeper. Plus, we discuss some more, anonymous red flags, revelations. You know what I'm saying? So again, thank you all for joining me here on Ask Nyomi BTG Live. And remember, ignoring red flags might feel easier in the moment, but recognizing them early saves your heart in the long run. You deserve healthy and secure love. So remember, follow us on all our platforms at Ask Nyomi and download the checklist at AskNyomi.com. Until next time, hold on. But I want y'all to remember this. Tell a friend to Ask Nyomi. Be good to one another in yourselves and always keep it sexy. Have an amazing week. And if you got any more love, sex, relationship advice, email us at asknyomi@gmail.com. And no stalking emails, all right? Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Have a good one.
Hey, it's the goddess Naomi Banks. And I hope you enjoyed that last episode of Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap. And if you did, please like, subscribe, press that notification button, as well as comment. I'll see you next week. Keep it sexy.
Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap. This is where we talk about love, sex, relationships, cultural differences, and so much more.